You wake up in Imperial China, and the nobleman you just slept with is standing over you with a machete, not to kill you. That would be too simple. He's cutting off his own sleeve, the heavy, expensive silk one you're currently using as a pillow. Because waking you up would be a breach of etiquette, and apparently, ruining a garment worth a month's salary is the ancient Chinese equivalent of changing your relationship status too. It's complicated. Congratulations, you've just been handed the cut sleeve. It's the ultimate romantic gesture, but it's also a neon target on your back. Because now, the game begins. The specific lethal game of how do you go from sweeping hallways to wearing gold thread silk without the palace servants connecting the dots and getting you tortured to death with vegetables. Yes, vegetables, forcibly, until your heart stops. The price of the grind. That's the cost of moving too fast, of vanishing at night without a paper trail. So you play it slow. You keep sweeping. You keep bowing. But you just happen to be sweeping closer to the rooms where the decisions are made. Your life improves one thread at a time, like a video game character grinding for legendary armor. Because if anyone puts it together too soon, if the rumor reaches the wrong eunuch, the wrong official, the wrong jealous concubine, you're done. And done doesn't mean fired. It means arrested, humiliated, and subjected to a death that makes you wish they'd just gone with the axe. But that's only if you're the low status one. If you're the emperor, if you're the noble, you can have tea house boys, theater companions, private tutors, whatever your heart desires. No one questions the tiger until the Qing dynasty decides passion has a fixed price. 1 month in prison, 100 lashes with a bamboo cane. But at least you're not in the Aztec Empire. Because there is no slow play. There is only, did anyone see you? If yes, you're dead. But here's the fun part. How you die depends on your role. If you were the active one, strangulation, public, quickish. If you were passive, they extract your colon first. Then they burn you alive. In Aztec logic, your body is an offering to the gods. Dishonoring it requires maximum punishment, maximum spectacle, and maximum nightmare fuel. Then the Spanish show up with their rosaries and war dogs and think, not brutal enough. They add the lashes, the burnings, and the civilized touch of dogs, trained specifically to tear human flesh. You'd think, maybe I should have been born in Greece. Everyone says Greece was chill, right? Sure, if you follow the rules you didn't know existed. In Athens, you can have a relationship with a younger guy, but only if he's the right age. You're the mentor. He acts like he's not too into it, and the whole thing ends the second he hits maturity. It's less romance and more a homoerotic internship with vague HR rules and career-ending consequences. You meet at the gym. You train together, oil glistening on your skin under the Mediterranean sun. You attend banquets where the wine flows and the debates last until dawn. But you absolutely do not admit this is just dating with extra steps. And if you mess it up, if he's too willing or you're too obvious, your reputation is dust. You're the guy everyone avoids at the symposium. Rome takes that idea and makes it colder. Here, it's not about age, it's about position. You can sleep with anyone, slaves, foreigners, gladiators, as long as you're the one in control. Because being passive makes you a slave, a traitor, a disgrace. The senator points at you across the marble floor. His toga billows as he turns to address the crowd. One word, pathicus, and every head swivels toward you. Your career ends before he even finishes the sentence. In feudal Japan, sleeping with your master is just part of the curriculum. You're a young samurai apprentice. You learn the sword, strategy, poetry, honor, and occasionally, you share your master's bed. It's called wakashudo. It's tradition. It's imbued with ideals of sacrifice and mutual devotion. It's completely acceptable until it's not. Because one intercepted letter, your handwriting on rice paper, the ink still wet, reaches the wrong rival. One jealous whisper reaches the daimyo. And suddenly, you're kneeling in the garden at dawn, the tanto blade cold against your stomach, performing seppuku because someone questioned your honor. Feudal Japan doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about perception. And perception is a battlefield. But at least they weren't calling it a sin yet. That comes later. In ancient India, you're actually okay. The Kama Sutra talks about how to seduce another man. The Hijra, the third gender, bless marriages and walk among royalty. In Thailand, the Kathoey perform for kings. Then the British show up with Section 377. A law written in London gets copy-pasted to India, Nigeria, Singapore, and Jamaica. Societies that accepted you for centuries now prosecute you with imported morality. And the worst part? Many of those countries still have that law today, decades after independence. The colonizers left, but the homophobia stayed behind like a virus. You're in Assyria now, and your survival depends on 3 rules. Never show weakness. Never be passive. Never get caught. If you're accused, you're castrated publicly and executed. Not because it's a sin, but because weakness has no place among warriors. Then the Abrahamic religions arrive, and the game changes forever. Suddenly, it's not just about social codes. It's about your soul. Leviticus says, don't do it. Christianity says, don't do it and prepare to burn forever. Islam says, it depends. In some courts, poetry celebrates male beauty in perfumed gardens until the interpretation shifts, and those same words become evidence for your execution. The key shift is this. Now it is a sin, a moral stain that follows you beyond death. When these religions spread, through conquest, through colonization, through empire, they bring these rules with them. They overwrite centuries of local customs with imported shame. Colonialism didn't just draw borders, it exported prejudice. It turned acceptance into persecution and called it civilization. By the 1800s, industrialization makes everything worse. Because now, for the first time in history, they have the technology to watch you. The city isn't a collection of villages anymore. It's a grid, a machine. And you are a glitch in the gears. The Victorian police don't just happen upon you. They hunt you. They knock at 2 a.m. That heavy thud that means your life is over before you even reach the handle. Their brass buttons catch the flickering gaslight as they push through your door, smelling of wet wool and tobacco. Being caught isn't just a fine. It's social death. Your name, your address, and your shame printed in crisp black ink for your neighbors to read over their soft-boiled eggs. You aren't just a criminal, you're a Sunday morning entertainment. By noon, your landlord has evicted you. By evening, your family has burned your letters. You don't just go to prison. You're erased from the guest list of humanity. The 20th century doesn't bring relief. It just swaps the gaslight for a searchlight. It brings the era of the raid. You're in a basement bar, finally feeling safe because the music is loud and the door is steel. Then the lights flip on. Harsh, buzzing fluorescents that strip away the glamour and leave only the fear. The music dies mid-note. You try to memorize badge numbers, but the panic turns your brain to static. You see the flashbulbs of the press waiting outside like vultures. And today, the map of the world is a patchwork of progress and nightmares. In some countries, the fight shifted from the streets to the courtrooms. You can marry. You can adopt. You can hold hands in the park without checking the perimeter. You've traded the cut sleeve for a wedding ring. But in others, the clock stopped in 1860. You're still illegal, still a biological deviance, still punishable by the lash, the cage, or the noose. In these places, the law isn't a shield. It's a garrote. It's the ghost of empires that no longer exist, still haunting laws that refuse to die. These aren't traditional values. They're the leftovers of a dead queen's bureaucracy, still twitching in the 21st century. You survive by hiding, by lying, or by being so loud they can't ignore you. Because being gay across history isn't just one story. It's a million stories of people who were told they didn't exist and decided to stay anyway.